we shift our focus to Lebanon in West Asia, where after a year-long war with Israel, pressure is growing on Iran-backed Hezbollah to give up arms. The country's president and prime minister have said that they are committed to re-establish Beirut's authority across Lebanon. Now, this also includes places in southern Lebanon where Hezbollah's writ looms large. Now, referring to a UN Security Council framework that calls for disarming Hezbollah, the Lebanese Prime Minister Nawaf Salam said that his government will implement the same for the security and stability of the country.
First, reform is the only path to real salvation, and this requires the government to ensure security and stability in Lebanon by completing the implementation of Resolution 1701 and the ceasefire agreement, and following up on Israel's withdrawal to the last inch of Lebanese territory. This is in conjunction with reconstruction, which I previously said is not a promise but a commitment.
The UN Security Council Resolution 1701, unanimously agreed upon in response to the 2006 Israel-Hezbollah war, is deemed critical for peace in Lebanon amid continued hostilities with Israel. The resolution calls for full cessation of hostilities between Israel and Lebanon, as well as disarmament of Hezbollah and other armed groups in Lebanon. The resolution also underlines Lebanon's need to fully exert control of all of its territory, part of which continues to remain under the de facto control of banned militant groups such as Hezbollah. 19 years since this resolution, Beirut's commitment to disarm Hezbollah is yet to see the light of day. But as the Iran-backed Shia group reels for resurrection with declined arms and assassinated top leaders, reports say that Lebanese leaders have found a rare opportunity to reassert Beirut's authority across the country. Now, that's because while Israel is credited to have given Hezbollah's military capability a sizable blow, the group's political standing in and out of Beirut remains as strong as before. Hezbollah and its allies currently control 62 seats in Lebanon's 128-member parliament. This is enough to sway important decisions. Reports add that Hezbollah can resort to intimidation of lawmakers who stand in the way of their legislative needs, and that can give them the upper hand in Beirut. At the same time, despite heavy losses in war with Israel, Hezbollah's administrative institutions continue to function in the country's south. The group has reportedly deployed a vast network of its loyalists in southern Lebanon to reassert its strength. For this, Hezbollah appears to be trumping Prime Minister Nawaf Salam's government in the post-war rebuilding effort. Now, according to pro-Hezbollah media outlets, Hezbollah has distributed $400 million worth compensation to nearly 140,000 people since November ceasefire with Israel. People who lost their homes reportedly received between $12,000 to $14,000 to cover a year of rent elsewhere. And reports add that Hezbollah-led institutions are more attentive than the state of Lebanon among the residents of the south. People cite free medical care from Hezbollah-backed health organizations and aid payments doled out through the war for their continued support for the militant group with critical political presence. Now, the revived call for disarming Hezbollah holds a key significance for any semblance of peace between Israel and Lebanon in the coming future. But instead of Lebanon's independent institutions, Hezbollah-led bureaucracy appears to be in charge of rebuilding the country's south. The group, far from giving up arms, appear to be regenerating even after the assassination of its longtime leader, Hassan Nasrallah. So, is Hezbollah regaining its pre-war political and militant strength despite the recent commitment to disarm the group?
From breaking news to the day's biggest controversies, shedding light on the world's top headlines. Detailed analysis on the stories that matter the most to you. Catch it all on Spotlight at 6 p.m. India time and 12:30 GMT. Only on Firstpost.
We're calling the show Vantage. We hope you like what we put together for you. Touted as the minimum defense from that video. India's neighbors were the first to send the special edition of Vantage live from the White House throughout this week. Yes, Hindu Mandir in we're on our way to Tel Aviv measure, but it's also the perfect way to drive.
I don't think that
Prime Minister of Bhutan, Sherin Tagwe. Welcome to
60% of the world's
office, Prime Minister Modi. Did the iron?
we were actually
How are you doing? How do you like? It's been 1 year since that meeting. Iron bars separate you from the outside. Out the vote effort. Trump had, it says, and at $4.3 trillion. 300 billion by 2030. That's what we need to tackle climate change.